Hey guys! It's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Lover Pretend, going to get the after scenes for Yukito's route. My brain was like, frick, every other name's going through my head, like, holy cow. Just because, the last part was like an hour, this is probably going to be at least 30 minutes, and then whatever, like I said last time, I'm running a little early on finishing this route, and like, I kind of need to. Where it's going to be a problem is coming to the end of May and the beginning of June. There's going to be a lot of time where I don't have a lot of time to record, so I'd rather not be in the middle of a route or whatever, which I'm still probably going to have to do, but like, I'm just coming up in a very difficult place, and I don't want to leave like so much time between recording routes or be trying to juggle too many things at once, trying to keep caught up. And like, this wrapping up several parts early is like really throwing a wrench into the works here. You know what I mean? Like, damn it. I was estimating and like based on everything else, and I don't know. But anyway, so this will just be a little bit shorter. We're going to get our little after thing, and then we'll check out our, CGs and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Whatever. Anyway, Director Makino's long-awaited new project begins. Riko Nishijima and Yukito Seina cast as dual leads. Seina makes his acting debut. Are his skills up to snuff? Yukito Seina dyes his hair black. Is he graduating from his Playboy image? I browsed the online articles, scowling at their contents, so I guess he keeps his hair dark, huh? As I expected, they're all skeptical of Yukito's acting skills, and they're generally critical of his career change. I guess this is his trial by fire. Hey, did you see today's news? Yukito's gonna be in a movie! I did. He's starring alongside Riko Nishijima, right? Oh my god, I'm so excited! Bird, stop biting me. I heard about that too. I can't wait to see his hot bod on screen. For real, it's gonna be so cool. How? They're talking about the film. I get to hear some live reactions. Isn't it going to be hard to measure up to Riko Nishijima, though? Does Yukito even have any acting experience? Yeah, I don't know. Plus, it's not even like some side character. They're both leads. I don't have enough girl voices, okay? For like girls A through C over here. Ugh. Yukito's just as good of an actor as Nishijima. Sure, he's just getting started, but still, I like how you're defending your boyfriend. We're like, okay, he might have the potential to be as good as Nishijima, and obviously he's good enough that they put him up there, like, with him, but I don't think might not be as good as, like, Nishijima. Like, well, I mean, I guess it's fair to think maybe he could be, because otherwise they wouldn't want him. At least they work well together, and that's important, you know what I mean? Like, you could be a fabulous actor, but if everybody around you sucks, it's gonna be really hard. Especially if you're new. Like, if you're Yukito and you're like, I would do a decent job, but everybody around me sucks, it's gonna be really hard. Like, you've got to have someone really good to kind of, like, bounce your goodness off of. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna amp you up and make you better. Because you're then not trying to act on par with them, and it's gonna, like, I mean, I'm not saying that works all the time, but we know Yukito's actually good at it, so it'll make him better. If you put them side by side, are they as good as each other? Who knows? I don't know. Maybe it's fair. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But still, I think he has the potential to get there at least, and he's got a damn good start. Girl, you're crazy. You've both seen his Minsta. His Big Brother vid blew my mind. When I watched that, I was like, I wonder if they'll do a movie together. That would slay me. Wait, I remember these girls. Yeah, because they're all the same. Since Yukito could do dramatic stuff like this, don't you think he could totally be an actor? Absolutely. They were hyped about the social media posts, too. God, I let myself get too worked over these tabloid articles. No matter how the media tried to paint him, Yukito had loads of fans rooting for him to succeed. There really are people who want to see him act. The thought warmed my heart like a bright ray of sunshine. Obviously, he had his critics, but I was sure that even they would come to acknowledge him once they saw his skill and determination. And the critics are basically people that just don't think he's capable, you know what I mean, as opposed to, seeing what he can do. But I feel like that's fair. It's not fair to just be like, oh, they can't act because they're a model. But I mean, that, reality in this game is fair for reality. For actual reality. You know what I mean? Being like, oh, there are people who don't think he can snuff it because he's a model, so he can't be good at acting. And I feel like that's, fair point. That's exactly the way it is in reality. You know what I mean? You have all these people, and it's just this natural, they are really good at XYZ, and now they're going to be an actor. And you're like, And then sometimes they're really good, and other times they're just not. And you're like, no. And it's sad because I feel like, I would say back in the day, years ago, more so than now, but still now too, where they'd be like, oh, they're really good in this. It'd be like Yukito. Oh, he's a model. We should totally put him into acting. Even if he didn't want to do it, and even if he sucked, they just put him in because, he's the hot name right now. I mean, Hollywood still does that with people who are like, this is the hot name right now. And you're like, they don't fit this movie at all. They might be able to act. Oh, I think we've had this conversation. They can act over here in this little box, but you're trying to put them in roles that don't fit them. So it just makes everybody thinks they suck. When they don't, it's just, they should never have been in this role, and you only hired them specifically because of their name, not because of their talent, and that's kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? I feel like it's always been like that, though. I feel like it's just worse now. You know what I mean? Anyway. But I kind of see that, because you definitely have that where there are people who cross from one industry to another, and you're like, and they'll be like, so-and-so's gonna be in a movie, and you're like, the fuck is this? Nuh-uh, I don't believe for a second they can act. And there's more scrutiny on them. You know what I mean? You get a new actor on screen, and you're like, okay. But you get someone who's not in the acting industry in some other industry, a model, a singer, whatever, and then you're like, yeah, bullshit! And you're automatically harder on them because they're good in one industry, and it just, you know what I mean? So I definitely feel like, yes, there's going to be people with Yukito that are going to be like, I don't think he can act, even though he is good, just because, one, his image, and two, because he's coming from a total other industry, and there's just this unfair scrutiny when you're crossing borders like that, you know? Anyway. It all worked out. It'll all work out. I'm sure of it. Eventually, the entire cast had been chosen.
If the characters act this way, it'll be too difficult for the plot to progress later. And then I can make this part... Oh, wait, no.
Professor, you don't look all that well. Have you been getting enough sleep?
Huh? Oh, yes. If it's a stakeout, how about red bean buns? No, that's too cliche. They need something more novel.
Red bean buns? And, was there a stakeout scene in the story? Or is this a buddy cop movie? Are we making a buddy cop movie? That's amazing. I'm here for that.
Oh, how about a disguise? Yeah, 3 minutes should be enough to make it work.
Professor, are you okay? Professor Asagi! Is this what professional writing does to you? Or is this just Professor Asagi being himself? I kind of like that we're getting this little insight, and you're like, I'm really curious now when we get to his route, is he just going to be slightly scatterbrained when he's writing? Because that's adorable. He always seems very, professional and very cool and collected, and then he's, just this fucking, scatterbrain over here when he's writing, and you're like, cute. I like it. Now that the casting process had finished smoothly, the script needed to be wrapped up. It was crunch time for the screenwriter. Good luck, Professor! The script was finished just before the end of November. December rolled around shortly after. It's almost time for the cast to meet the crew. Woo! And the first table read! The director, Mr. Hanai, and Professor Asagi would be there. So would Makino, the makeup artist, Miss Kayama, and Kazuma as an assistant. I can't wait to see how they read the lines. And now he's back to having blonde hair. Honestly, I didn't hate him with the dark hair, but I like him better with the blonde hair. It suits him more. Because obviously when they drew the character and they put the colors and everything together, like, they put what works. And, like, you could change his hair a million different colors, but this is, well, one, it's what we've gotten used to. But you know when you're drawing a character, sometimes you're like, okay, no, yeah, they look better with this color hair. You know what I mean? So his color palette works better this way. And it could just be because it's what I'm used to. I don't hate the brown hair. Well, okay, it's supposed to be black, but it looked more brown, but whatever. But this still fits him better to me. Anyway. Now listen up. After all the trouble you went through to get this, don't piss anyone off. Got that, Yukito?
Yeah, I'll be fine, man.
Anyway, I'll be watching from the other side. I believe in you. Good morning, Yukito. Good morning, Spacey. Try not to give your manager too much trouble, or else he'll seriously get a stomach ulcer this time. Hey. You're going in blonde, though. I thought you wanted to go back to black. Yukito smirked. Until filming starts, I'm still the model, Yukito Sena. His expression was cool and refreshed, like he was ready to take a new step forward. How fucked up did that make your hair that you went from, like, blonde? So when you're going back to black, you have to fill it in? You have to do, like, a red or a brown or something else. You can't just go straight from blonde to black. It's just gonna look weird. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I guess you probably could do it. I just don't think it always works. You know? But even temporarily, even if it's like, oh, I put temporary color in my hair, even if it's rinsing out, it's gonna leave some of the hints behind. So then you're gonna have to, like, re-bleach your hair. And that is damaging, dude. Like, what the shit? You should have just been like, it was a wig. You should have shown up in a fucking wig and they would have been like, he did something weird to his hair. You know what I mean? Like, doing that much processing on your hair, though, dude. And then you're gonna go back to now that everyone's here, I'd like us to all introduce ourselves. Let's start with the leads. When prompted, Nishijima stood up from his seat. I'm Riku Nishijima. I'm playing one of the lead roles. I'll give my utmost effort to create a great film with you all. I'm looking forward to our work together from now until shooting wraps up. Next is Sena. Please introduce yourself. Okay. Yukito rose slowly from his seat and turned to face us. I'm Yukito Sena, and I'll be playing the other lead role. As you're all no doubt aware, this will be my first substantial acting role. However, I don't expect any special treatment, and I'd appreciate your guidance, however strict. Also, Yukito turned to Nishijima and grinned. Nishijima, I respect you a lot, but I plan to one-up you someday. And thank you, everyone. Yukito, I trusted you! Oh, that's an eye. Okay. I like your spirit, kid. Keep that up. This project's gonna be a blast. Why are you so happy about this? It's the winds of change, right, director? A breeze can be tailwind that helps or headwinds that hinders. I wonder which this will be. I'm looking forward to finding out. Now that concludes today's meeting and table read. I don't know why his voice keeps changing, but whatever. The filming will start with the new year. I want you all to strive to study the script and create your characters. I eagerly anticipate shooting this with you. Cast and crew members nodded at the director's words, their spirits renewed. Oh, my bird is jammed under my chin. Before I knew it, it was Christmas time. I wanted to spend it with Yukito, but our schedules didn't align. Understandably so. Instead, I was enjoying the variety show he regularly appeared on. Oh, and this one's so pretty. Look, it lights up in a rainbow of colors when it's time. On the screen were festive city lights. Yukito had used as a backdrop in one of his modeling shoots. He went to a place like that? I'll have to ask him about it next time I see him. Honestly, though, I was hoping we could do more than just talk about it. We'll have to wait. Yukito's an entertainer, so this is an important time for him. What a great location! How could it be? Have you been there with your girlfriend? Huh? The video had switched over to the studio where Yukito was chuckling at the host. Man, you know I have to refer you to my agency for questions like that, ever since my whole image change. But frankly, I probably wouldn't go there on a date. A
going out to such a public spot would make my partner really uncomfortable.
Oh, and here I thought you'd be eager to take her there.
Yeah, and that's why I think a girl who's watching me on TV from home while I'm working is best.
I like this little shout out to us. That's adorable. A girl who's watching me on TV from home while I'm working is best. Winks at us.
And then once I finish work, if I got a ring message from her saying, "Oh, well done, I love you," wouldn't that just be perfect?
Point taken.
If she sent me a selfie of her kissy face, I'd fall for her even harder.
While he spoke, Yukito subtly flicked his gaze toward the camera. That was obviously directed at me. I mean, the whole kissy face thing is slightly embarrassing. You'd be like, I'm not going to give you a kissy face, but he seriously wants me to send that? Should I? That'd be so embarrassing. At the same time, I wanted to support him since he was working so hard. I gripped my phone, pacing around the room. This is humiliating, but here goes nothing. I mean, you just gotta do it, because he asked. It's cute. You did really great. I got your message. I do love you. Here's my kissy face. This is humiliating, but you're worth it. Like, you know, those hectic days went by in a flash. With the start of the new year, principal photography had begun.
Good morning. It's good to see you all.
I entered the studio after my mentor's greeting, bowing to the crew. Then I realized something. My head snapped up as I looked directly at one particular figure in the bustling studio. He's back to having, like, his dark hair. It's so weird. I don't hate it, but I just think he looks so much better blonde. Like, I don't know, because I'm just used to it. You know what I mean? There's just something about it that just makes him pop a little more. I don't know. Anyway.
About this scene. It's probably supposed to be to foreshadow Nishijima and I becoming closer as buddies, right? If possible, I'd like if we could make a stronger impression.
Elaborate.
For instance, our interaction here is pretty serious at the moment, but it could be a bit more comical.
I don't know about that. I'd prefer to stick to the script.
Oh? Are you not good at ad-libbing, Nishijima?
That's not what I meant. I just want to respect the writer's vision.
But I really do think this would make it livelier, more interesting. People wouldn't expect you to be able to joke around. I'm sure the audience would enjoy it, and I bet your fans want to see another side of you, too.
What are your thoughts, director?
Hey! You totally ignored me!
At times like these, we should consult the director. Whoa! Hold your horses, youngins!
Wow, and I just came out of nowhere.
He's been hiding behind you the whole time. You have a unique way of interrupting people. Listen, Makino might seem all grim and strict, but he actually gives his actors a lot of leeway. If he lets you do it, you should. I suppose I have kept you around a long time, even though you always cause a commotion. I see. So he does. Don't just believe him.
I knew you'd understand me, Hanai, my guy. So don't you think the scene would be more interesting this way?
Well, I guess this is what people mean when they brand someone a troublemaker.
Don't worry so much, Nishijima. Come to the dark side. It's more fun over here.
Perhaps someday.
You sound like you really don't want to.
They're certainly enthusiastic. Yeah, they are. Oh. While I answered, I couldn't take my eyes off Yukito as he swapped thoughts with the others. I mean, it's still just, like, Riku actually is stealing this CG, honestly. Because, like, there's just something about his little pensive face that I love. And, like, again, I think it's, like, I don't think Yukito looks bad with the dark hair, but I guess it's just I'm so used to the blonde hair that this is just, like, it's not as good as Harumi's glow up. That was fucking amazing. That change was like, Jesus Christ, he should have been like this the whole time. Would Harumi have been Harumi if he looked like that the entire time? I mean, I think it could have worked with it. It would have been perfectly fine. But like, you know what I mean? That was like, oh my god. And this is like, yeah, okay, it's interesting. But like, I don't know if I'm feeling it. But just personal. Anyway, how to make the movie more interesting, how to make it more charming. As I watched them share ideas heart to heart, I was filled with a sense of nostalgia. Butterflies filled my stomach and electricity prickled my skin. This is just like the short film. I want to be there too.
What's the matter, Miss Ueda?
I jerked my head up and saw my mentor studying my face. A feverish desire filled my chest, urging me to say it, loud and proud. I want to create, to write. I want to make a script I can discuss with the actors, just like that. I want it so bad.
Hi, Miss Ueda.
For an instant, Professor Asagi stared at me, wide-eyed. Then he slowly smiled in understanding. He knew exactly how I felt.
Right then. Write what your feelings tell you, wherever your heart takes you. I'm sure you can create a wonderful story now.
I will. Professor Asagi returned my nod with a smile and moved away to speak with the director. Another man slipped into his place. Our man? Yeah.
Spacey, listen to this. Nishijima's like, so stubborn. He just says no to everything.
Yukito spread his hands in exasperation, and I giggled. A formidable opponent, then.
Pretty much, but that's what makes this hurdle worth clearing.
I mean, because this is like one of my favorite sprites of him, just that look on his face, but like, it's not bad, but I still just doesn't have, like, the impact of blonde Yukito. You know what I mean? This gives you a whole different vibe. Actually, and with this, because, you know, they got the pink at the ends, which I don't think is supposed to, that's just highlighting for the game. I don't think his hair's supposed to, you know what I mean? But, like, this makes him look like he's kind of in a band. It's not helping your Playboy image, because now I think you're, like, the lead singer of a band and you're a Playboy. Instead of, like, a Playboy model. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just think you're out there drinking, being a Playboy, and getting a lot of tattoos now. That's just the vibe I'm getting with this. So, like, I don't think it's helping. Anyway. Yukito flashed a confident smile. There wasn't a shred of gloom in his face. His excitement was contagious, too. He shines so brightly. I couldn't help but think that. Smiling up at Yukito, I told him my honest feelings. It'll be fine. I know you can beat him.
Oh. What's this? You're so honest today.
It's nothing, I believe in you, Yukito.
Hey, and don't give me a surprise attack like that. You're normally so cool toward me. If you say something so cute, I might not be able to hold back.
Then don't.
You really are the best. My girlfriend's got her man wrapped around her little finger.
As the dream we all have, right? Yes, that's awesome. That's how I have to try to run this man harem as best I can. I gotta have as many of you wrapped around my finger as possible because some of you, the rest of you, are running amok. We know. Troublemakers. So far, no one in this game would be the one running amok. Cosmo a little bit, but, like, it's okay. Not nearly as bad as some of her trash husbands. Some of those fuckers just constantly running amok no matter what we do, so I need to keep the rest of you, you know, at bay here. I'm honored by the compliment. Our laughter tapered off into smiles, and then we burst out laughing all over again. We could keep this up forever and ever. How adorable. I do like that our relationship is different with each one of them, you know what I mean? Like, it's still cute and adorable, but, like, with Harumi, it's a little nerdy. You know, like, we're totally into the anime thing, and we're, like, kind of, like, adorably awkward nerds together. And with Yukito, we're a little, like, happier and gigglier, and it's kind of, like, you know, it's a slightly different vibe. But, like, so they're, like, slightly unique in their own way, and I don't know. I feel like that should be the way it is with every route, but I just feel like your character is pretty consistent. And I don't think we're not like, it's not like she's drastically different personality wise in each route. Not like Taisho Alice, where like you're completely different in each route, understandably so. This is more like we're slightly different because we're growing as a person with this other person as opposed to I am set in my ways. We're like, I don't know. Anyway, after filming started, I accompanied Professor Asagi to the set the first few times, but those opportunities soon disappeared. Once the script was more or less set in stone, he stopped going. That meant I, his assistant, did too. I had permission to help out on set from time to time in order to gain experience, but I personally declined to do so. When I told Yukito, he booed me, but I had my own things to attend to. In February, the streets were lined with Valentine's Day decorations, which I wasn't too fond of. I couldn't do anything for Yukito's birthday either. Although Yukito had become an actor, he was still working as a model too. He had to fit in a lot of work for his agency. Yukito's manager did his best to keep the workload manageable, but Yukito was still the agency's flagship model. However busy, Yukito gave every last job his full effort. In the end, his Playboy model persona turned out to be a reflection of his true self, not just an act. If he enjoys both, so be it. I love that. His Playboy model persona is a reflection of his true self, not just an act. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I guess a reflection of, like, he's playing the field in, like, acting and modeling and juggling both, but the Playboy persona was really more like flippin' ladies' man type of a thing, and that's not who he is, you know? But I get the parallel there, playing the field with different jobs. We kept in touch via phone calls and ring, but for now we didn't have the time to meet up. That's so sad. Obviously, I can't see him for Valentine's Day. I don't want to distract him on set either. The love songs playing in the streets reached my ears. Images seeped into the corners of my mind and started to take shape. I was struck with a flash of inspiration. Of course! A love song! I can use the couple's feelings as a motif to tie the scene together. I could go with something a little old school, a song anyone would find catchy rather than something jazzy. My hands twitched, itching to write down my flood of ideas. I ran out of patience right then and there. Yep, time to go home! Ever since the first day of filming, I hadn't been able to rein in my creative spirit. No matter where I went or what I did, I was dreaming up ideas, even when I was thinking about Yukito. I mean, that's actually better, because that helps you build the romance, right? I want to write right now! I want to write right now! This was the primary reason I turned down the offers to do grunt work on set. My inability to write realistic romance was the biggest flaw in my work. Initially, I thought it was because I lacked relationship experience, but now I knew the real reason. Love wasn't possible in a vacuum. Without realizing it, I'd been avoiding something crucial. The act of facing someone head on, bringing your hearts closer together. Taking that fearless step toward intimacy.
Your payment for being my guide. How about an autograph, a handshake, and a hug?
At first, I'd been extremely cautious. Yukito had approached me so casually, but I didn't know how to deal with men.
Everyone in the world has their own image to worry about.
Even though he was the sort of personality I couldn't handle, I'd started to see new sides of him when I stopped running away. Oh god, like this. Once I let him get closer to me, I saw him in a new light. I found him attractive. I just think it's funny that this is the CG they put up with this thought. Like, I let him get closer to me. I saw him in a new light. I found him attractive. And it's like, I mean, even if you're not into the man, I have a feeling if you saw him like this, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, he's fine as shit. I still think he's a douchebag and I don't want to date him, but like, hi. I mean, you can appreciate something with your eyes that you don't want to like touch or be in a relationship with. You know what I mean? So like, I just find it funny that this is the CG they chose. I saw him in a new light. I found him attractive. It kind of just makes it feel like your attraction to him is purely physical. And we know that's not true, but it's like, game, what are you doing? Stop that. The intense feelings excited me. I mean, although this one's kind of funny. The intense feelings excited me. I mean, his pants are half off. In the end, I had to admit how I felt. This was love. There you have the beautiful kiss. Oh, well, it's gone now, sorry. For the very first time, I was facing a man directly, without fear, without wanting to escape. Love was only part of it, too. My entire worldview had shifted due to the experiences I'd had over the better part of a year. I finally understand what Professor Asagi was saying.
Above all else, this opportunity's gonna broaden your horizons. Believe me.
Everything I saw, heard, and touched had meaning. All of my experiences had nourished me as a person and a creator. Now I had momentum. The loneliness of being apart, sleepless nights full of longing, the simultaneous excitement and anxiety when you get to hear your loved one's voice. I could write about emotions I never knew existed. More. More? I want to know their story. And then... oh my god. I did it! For days and days I'd been immersing myself in a creative world, weaving countless words. At last they had coalesced into a single, coherent story. And so the seasons changed. The cherry blossoms bloomed, and as they began to scatter, I heard the principal photography had wrapped up on the film. Yukito told me over the phone, laughing, that he'd shed some rare tears when the bouquet to commemorate the end had come. Bouquet to commemorate the end had come. Huh?
So I canceled all my appointments next Wednesday, and I've got the whole day open. It's been so long. I really want to see you. I have something to show you, too. How about it?
What is it you want to show me? I know what he wants to show me! Sure that's not it, but...
you'll have to wait until you see me. Anyway, just wait at my place. I'll be expecting some of your delicious homemade food.
Fine. Make sure you come hungry.
Oh, nice. It's like we're newlyweds. I can't wait to see you, honey.
All right. Good luck at work, darling. I think I could even say things like this now. I mean, it sounded like you were awkward. Like, yeah, it just throws off when he's like, all right, thanks, honey. Babe, whatever. And then you're like, okay, darling. It just sounds so forced and unnatural. But I like that. It's slightly awkward. You're like, I'm trying. Well, it was barely above a murmur, though. Okay, darling. Okay, the rice is almost cooked, and the miso soup is done. I can fry up the rest once Yukito gets home. We're good to go, I think. As Yukito had requested, I'd splurged a little on dinner for our own private wrap party. He generally preferred Western-style food, and I'd done my best to satisfy that. After some practice, of course. I mean, rice, sure, but like, rice and miso soup seems more Japanese-style than like Western, but okay. But this was the first time in a while that he'd asked for Japanese food. Okay, that makes more sense. Since this was my wheelhouse, I'd rolled up the old sleeves. Yukito had a bigger appetite than one might expect, so I really hoped he would like it. I took off my apron, plopped down on the sofa, and sighed. I wonder when he'll be back. I was fidgeting because I missed him, and for one other reason. Shooting glances at the door over and over, I kept thinking about what was in my bag. Girl, what's in your bag? He's here! Are you gonna propose to him? Oh god, I kind of forgot he had black hair again.
Hello, Spacey. I've missed you so much.
Welcome home! If we lived together, we wouldn't have to worry about not seeing each other. I gave him a quick hug. Felt like ages since I'd looked into his eyes. Just want to hold each other and stare at each other for a little while. How cute. Did you lose a little weight?
Yeah, I have to slim down for a summer photo shoot.
What? Oh no! I was gonna make you fried food!
A few bites should be fine. I've been excited for it. But more importantly...
I have to slim down. The man is a stick. You'll be fine, sweetie. We've seen you without your shirt on. You look fine. Yukito quickly took off his jacket, held my hand, and guided me to the sofa. Then he fixed me with a serious gaze.
Before we dig into that delicious meal, can we talk?
About? Oh, this just sounds... You said, can we talk? I mean, that would send... You're like, I don't feel good about this. Obviously, he's not going to break up with me, but like, that's... the vibe. You're like, no, why would you make me make you food? You should eat first, and then, you know. Oh, you mean the thing you wanted to show me? Girl.
Yeah, I figured you might be eager to know, seeing as I kept you waiting.
Well, I guess it's not what I think it is, because, like, the food's gonna burn. Just... Brimming with curiosity, I watched as he took something out of his pocket with a deep breath.
I'm warning you now, and try not to jump, okay?
What? You're scaring me now.
Some of what I'm about to show you is a little risque, so it's just a precaution.
Is it a sexy photo shoot of you? Do I get a sexy CG? I always thought I'm like, it's not a ring, but I was like, maybe it's a key. I'm gonna show you a key. Like, I want you to have a key so you can, but I'm already in, so like, I figure I must have a key. Yep, definitely scared.
Me too. Of your reaction, mostly.
Yukito was behaving more timidly than usual, which made me skittish. Still, I couldn't help but be curious. It's something from a photo shoot, I think. I don't know what you're talking about, but if you want to show me, then I want to know. Please show me. With some hesitation, I held out my hand. Yukito heaved a sigh.
Yeah. Sorry for dragging this out. I'm sure you'll be fine. Anyway, here.
He handed me a single postcard. What's this? It looks like direct mail. The postcard was addressed to Yukito. I flipped it over to the other side. There was a woman wearing an extravagant dress on the back. How to describe it at a glance? Well, she gave off an aura of mystique that belonged somewhere dark and smoky, away from daylight. She was beautiful, to be sure, but I was also getting a weird sense of déjà vu. It was... Is it Kirari? When I examined the postcard more closely, I spotted a logo in the corner. I sounded out the neon pink English letters in my head. Bar Scandal. Okay, so it had a flashy name, but it was the byline that really caught me off guard. Openly gay bar for easy drinking. Straight people also welcome. Yukito?
Yes.
Is this?
Yeah.
Some roundabout way of coming out. That is not how you end the happy ending. No, it's not. Yukito vehemently shook his head and pointed to the woman on the postcard.
What do you think of this person?
She's pretty, I guess? She had wider shoulders than most women I know, perhaps, but she was plenty gorgeous. Oh my god. Is it Yukito in drag? Yukito, are you in drag? Oh my god. I'm sorry, but that you 100% would have to be my favorite then, because like, I know, okay, I'm sorry, but if that's the case, I need to see this. You can't... Okay, she had wider shoulders than most women I knew, perhaps, but she was plenty gorgeous. Although she looked somewhat older than me, I couldn't possibly compete with her sexiness. I'm gonna die if it's him. Also,
look closely. Doesn't that face resemble someone you know?
Someone I know? Oh my god. Looking at the postcard, I racked my brain. My brows scrunched up in concentration! This is so good. Stumped, I looked to Yukito for a hint. Wait. If the woman in the photo had been 20 years younger or removed all her makeup, she looked just like the man in front of me. Oh my god, is that your dad? No, wait, what? Is this your... I paused, bewildered. Yukito nodded solemnly. Is that supposed to be your mom, then?
And this is the madam of the bar. She goes by the name Irene.
Okay, so it's not... Is this your way of coming out? No. Is this you in drag? I just want to see it, because then we'd know what Yukito looks like in drag. Is it your mom, or is your dad? Is it your dad? Oh my god, I really want it to be his dad. Well, now his mom, I guess. I love this so much. I'm sorry, Yukito, I have to go chase your dad down. Oh my god.
The madam's birth name is Yosuke Sena. My dad.
I love it! I love it so much. I'm gonna die. Please let me see what that looks like, because that would basically be what you look like in drag. Oh god. Your dad is now your mom. That's fine. I love it, sweetie. I'm so happy for you. It's beautiful. My jaw dropped and I tensed up at the wild revelation. I mean, when she said her shoulders are wider, you had to know. You know what I mean? According to Yukito, the truth about his father, Yosuke Sena, was a family secret. Yukito's mother had been an old friend, and the two of them had signed a marriage contract for mutual benefit. So Yukito's father's been gay like the whole fucking time. That's amazing. And they were hiding it. Like, that's so sad that he had to hide and he got this, like, womanizer thing and he's like, I don't even like women. Oh, that's so sad. But, you know, he's living his best life, so good for him. Or, you go, girl. I'm not sure. Look. He could be trans. He could just be in drag. I don't know what the deal is. We haven't figured that out yet. Both of them wanted a child, and so they had Yukito. Yukito's family was a little unconventional, but he'd grown up in a harmonious household full of love. However, it created problems at work.
Being a passionate producer meant approaching lots of women for research, since they were the primary audience. The ladies reacted in all sorts of ways to the experimental pickup tactics, and that's what sparked all the scandals. Oh well, it ended up getting out of hand, and that was that for our big shot producer.
Ow. I wasn't quite sure how to respond. Yeah, but he's, like, Irene's living her best life now. It was a lot of information for me to digest. Although, I mean, if he's just in drag, Irene just doesn't seem like a really good drag name. I'm just throwing it out there, I'm sorry, but, like, you know, you'd think something a little jazzier. Like, Irene is just kind of a basic white woman name. So, like, I mean, I guess if that's what you were going for, you know. Anyway, it was a lot of information for me to digest. I love this so much, but I love the fact that Yukito just kind of hid, and he was like, yep, my dad, the Playboy, and then was like, oh, by the way, I think you should actually... It's a little risque. Oh my god, sweetie. So your dad's your mom, or a drag queen. I'm not sure which, whatever. But, like, Irene's living her best life, so it's cool. Also, I love the fact that we are like, I could never be as sexy as this woman. Who's your dad? Yeah, I'm very confused. But fair. Because usually men in drag look better in a dress than I do, so I get it.
It's the truth. I'm sure she didn't want to cause trouble for our family, and pretending must have been exhausting.
Okay, so now we're just like, okay, so your father's transgender. Okay, cool. Alright, that explains it right there.
My folks divorced after that, and Irene started up a business where she could live openly and honestly.
But I love this, it's so beautiful. You know? I see. That was why Yukito had insisted we couldn't possibly be related. Someone who just wasn't attracted to women wouldn't have had a hidden love child through some titillating affair.
I'm sorry I couldn't explain everything to you right away. It's a sensitive topic, and I was worried it'd be hard for you to accept.
I completely understand. If you told me back then, I might have assumed you were joking and gotten upset. It's an incredible story. Chuckling, Yukito nodded and turned the postcard over. It's kind of so lovely, though, like...
I'll introduce you two when we get a chance. She'd probably love to hear about your mom.
Yeah, thank you. As surprised as I was, I decided that if we ever did meet, I'd be sure to ask about Mom. Besides, when I realized that Yukito trusted me enough to confide in me about something so delicate, I was absolutely thrilled. I mean, case in point, because it's, like, hard for some people to talk about. Anyway, and then I just feel like even in Western culture, it's still a little, like, there are some people who just don't get it. You know what I mean? And just refuse to get it. You know? And then... I feel like in Japan it's even more difficult. You know what I mean? Because it's as amazing as they are with technology and shit. I sometimes feel like the things that you hear, it's like it's a little 1960s. Or like women still have to wear heels in certain industries, and it's still a little like, come to us to the modern times, please. But like, even right now, being transgender is difficult. No matter where you live. You know what I mean? There are some people that are more open and welcoming and like, and then there's other people who just refuse to accept it. But, you know. But this is a safe space for anyone, no matter who you are. Like, we don't judge. If you're transgender, if you're gay, if you're straight, like, if you're a purple octopus, whatever, like, I don't care, I love you anyway, okay? So you're safe here, and, like, I'm assuming everyone on the channel, just, you know, those of you watching are also would be a safe space for anybody else here. So, you know, we keep it real here, okay? Like, alright? Let's not get emotional, but group hugs! But seriously, like, And again, I wasn't sure, like, when he showed the postcard, like, is your dad a drag queen? Is your dad your mom? So, like, so Yosuke's now Irene, so she's your mom now. So, okay. So I wasn't trying to, like, misgender her. So, but I wasn't sure which way we were going with this. But now we know, so she's living her best life, and that's amazing, and we're happy for her. Running this bar, being the madam of this bar, fabulous, not having to hide. But, you know, I mean, it's really sad that back in the day, Yosuke had to hide who he really wanted to be. But it's kind of, in a way, like, as hurtful and harmful as that was, having the marriage contract with Yukito's mom, and they both wanted a kid, and now fucking Yukito exists. So, like, you know, that kind of probably sucked a little, but something good came out of it. You know? And Irene really wanted a child, and now she has one. This is beautiful. Stop it. This is so wholesome. Why is this so wholesome? It's adorable. I love it so much. And I can absolutely understand why Yukito didn't want to tell us at first. You know what I mean? And why he tells us now, because it's like, obviously, and like, we're not going to judge you for that. We're so proud of you and Irene. Like, you know, she's so much sexier than us. Like, your mom's pretty sexy. You know, like, I don't know how Yukito would feel about that. You'd be like, I might be coming out now. I don't I do love that whole portion. Are you coming out to me with this postcard? And he's like, oh dear God. You could understand why we'd be confused, but anyway. Your father, or should I say your mother?
Nah, either one's fine. Wait, no. My real mom would get mad.
Regardless, I'm kind of excited to meet your parents. I mean, that's an interesting question, too, because then it's like, it's up to Irene how she wants to be addressed. And we're just using the she pronouns because we're assuming here. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's up to Irene if Irene wants to be like, nah, I'm Yukito's father, or I guess call me his mom. You know what I mean? Please call me she, but I'm still his dad. I mean, like, so, we'll never know. Because we'll never get to, unless they do like a fan disc of this one. If they do, I really want to meet Irene, but you have to do that. You have to handle that well. You can't be like, you can't be out there like Persona 5 and like gay people like they did. Where like you can't be gay in that because bro dudes would have been mad that it was just an option. And then they have the two gay characters who are just like flamboyant stereotypes. And you're like, this is a little, are we past this? But like, it was like moderately, not being gay, I don't know how offensive it was, but it seems like this could be problematic. I don't know. But it's just like this, you know what I mean? You're like, are we over the top with this? I don't know. But, you know, you can't do that in this scenario. You can't. So you'd have to tread very carefully and make sure it's done right and appropriately and non-offensively, so, you know. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. If there was a fan disc. So, I don't know. Still would absolutely play a fan disc, but anyway. Yukito stared at me for a moment, then let out a long, long sigh.
If you say such adorable things, I'll have to skip the food and go straight to dessert.
I hope I'm dessert. Oh, hey! It's not time for that yet! I mean, you're making it seem like we've done things. But again, I'm a little upset that we just kind of glossed over that and didn't even get like a little like transition-y scene where it was implied.
Not yet, eh?
With an amorous smirk, Yukito reached out for me. Before I could grab hold, I sprang to my feet. I also have something to show you. Look at his little pout! I love it.
What? You're not saying that to wriggle out of this, are you?
I mean it, really. Just wait here. I hurried over to my bag and took something out of it while Yukito pouted away. I'd hoped to wait a little longer before giving him this, but with the way things were going, it seemed like the right time. This is for you.
Oh? What's the envelope for?
It feels pretty thick, too. Just open it and see. Is it the movie that both of our parents worked on? My heart thrumming nervously, I watched Yukito unseal the envelope and remove the documents inside. Is it our screenplay? 10. Dream to Love. No offense, but that's kind of a terrible title. But I feel like she did it because it's like Pretend to Love. We took similar to our mother's like title, we kind of inferred from it's an homage, but it's still like it's a little weak, but Script. It's got your name on it. The title was front and center, followed by my name. Yep. I wrote the script and showed it to Professor Asagi. He finally gave me a passing grade. Wait, for real? That's awesome! I took all of the feelings I've had since I met you and managed to shape them into this. When I saw you working hard on the movie, I didn't want to fall behind, so I started on it out of a sense of rivalry. I love the fact that in this one we're like, I'm gonna fall behind, and everybody else was worried about falling behind. I still like that little kind of tie that they keep in all of them, like, oh, we're gonna compete against each other, but it's a friendly rivalry. Keep us both motivated. It's cute. I can only write this because you're here, so, it might not be very good, but I hope you'll accept it. Spacey. Also, I hesitated for a moment, stamping down my surging excitement. I entered it into a contest at my mentor's suggestion. There's actually a contest targeted at young amateur writers. Why don't we submit this script? Huh? The prompt was a romance drama targeted at young women, so I wasn't planning on approaching you about it. I smiled bitterly. My mentor had been trying to spare me the humiliation of being judged on a genre I was always weak at. I felt terrible. Well, this script seems fine to me. Well, what shall we do? Please, let me give it a shot. Good. I'll enter you then. I'm one of the judges too, but don't think I'll go easy on you just because you're my student. I understand. Don't hold back on my account. I entered competitions before, but I'd never been this motivated. This time around, I'd felt good about writing it, and I was confident in its quality. Professor Asagi eyed me with a mischievous glint in his eye. It would be really sad if you entered it into a contest and they were like, wow, this sucks! And you're like, it was based on my real-life romance and my real feelings. Not just like how I imagined I would feel or whatever. It's like my true feelings. Like, ouch. The grand prize winner of this competition will have their script adapted for television. Whoa! And, as an additional bonus, the winner will have a say in the casting. Stunned, I gaped at my mentor, who was smiling with amusement. I can't wait to see who you request. He's like telling us we're gonna win! Nepotism. Yukito silently listened to my explanation, looking like he was holding something back. Before he could interject, I barreled on. Well, we don't know the results yet, and there's no guarantee I'll win. But I wrote the script with Yukito Sena in mind as the lead actor. Heat flashed in Yukito's gaze. Oh. So, even if we don't know how well I'll do yet, if I really win, would you star in my script? My heart hammered in my chest. Even I was aware that I just said something incredible. But this was my greatest dream, and I was dead set on making it happen. For real? Seriously? You're so... I took a step back, wondering if I'd offended him somehow, but Yukito grabbed me tight. No, he's like, you're gonna make me cry, and I'm gonna have to kiss you. I'm done. What? You can't get away this time. I won't let you. The dinner can wait. Huh? I can't take it anymore. You're so damn cute. What? Oh, we're getting pinned down to the couch. I am here for this. Hi. Okay, her eye is literally the size of her head. It's slightly awkward, but it still kind of works. It's slightly awkward. But, like, good God, he looks kind of pretty in this. It's because of the angle, everything is so slightly off. Not in a bad way, but you know what I mean? It just looks like a different art style. You know? We fell back onto the sofa. Yukito's beautiful face was right above mine. I mean, this time the hair is working. By the time I'd realized what just happened, my cheeks were already flushed hot. I mean, we got pinned. We pinned Makino in his route, so I'll accept it. And then, we got pinned to a fish tank, and then I like getting pinned against shit. I blame Van Helsing and Code Realized for that, because it was like, oh, okay. And if you're a glasses asshole and you do that to me, I'm done. fucking done, so.
Sorry, I can't. My love for you is out of control.
This is so sudden.
What kind of man could stay calm after a love letter like this? Like hell I'm gonna let anyone else take the lead in your debut script.
I have no idea how I'll fare yet, though.
It's okay. I believe in you. On the off chance that it doesn't work out, I know you'll win someday.
Don't.
God, I can't frickin' believe the greatest woman in the world is my girlfriend.
I just really want someone to think I'm the greatest woman in the world. Like, Jesus Christ, how dare you? How are we gonna resist you now? That's it. We're done. That's it. Turn off the light. Everybody leave. Shit is happening and we're not allowed to read it. Did you fall for me all over again?
So badly I want to eat you all up right now.
God damn. Oh is right. I appear to have flipped Yukito's switch into the on position. I'm okay with that. There was no escaping now. Not that I want to. I was literally thinking that in my head, and I'm so happy that she said it in hers. It's
what?
It's been a long time. Please be gentle. For a second, Yukito stopped breathing. It's been a long time? You're saying that as if... Okay. See, that just makes me wonder, like, you'd ever had a boyfriend before, so you've never had sex. We're definitely a virgin. But, like, when you're saying it's been a long time, that's usually like, it's been a long time since I've done anything like this. You know, this is kind of what I say when I go to... It's been a long time since I've been to the doctor. I don't know how to do any of this crap anymore. You know what I mean? That's not something you say when it's the first time. And then it does make me wonder if shit's happened with him before, but then it wouldn't be like, it's been like a long time since we've had sex since the first time. Be gentle with me. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something you would say to someone you've already... You know? So, like, now I'm really confused. Are we supposed to imply that they did something before? We're implying here that she's done things before, but, like, girl, when? That should have come up in Kazuma's route, you know what I mean? He's like your best friend, he would know. So, like, did they mention that ever? Like, I don't think so. I don't know. The phrasing in this one's a little weird with the whole conversation with Kazuma being like, oh, hide the sausage. And you're like, okay, let me tell you how it happened. And it's like, how I fell in love with Yukito, not how I had sex with him, because that never happened. But, like, they made it seem implied that we did, and then this implied, but, like, also it very much implies that we didn't, because, like, oh, be gentle. Like, you know? So I'm very confused. I'm very confused, and I don't like being confused if we boned our boyfriend or not. Like, again, I don't need you to overtly give me graphic details that I have to read, because that's awkward as shit. But I'm gonna need a little bit more than, like, what we've gotten so far, if that's... I mean, this, I'm gonna take this as implied, and I feel very confident that this is happening, but, like, the conversation with Kazuma, you're like, wait, what? You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Anyway, for a second, Yukito stopped breathing. Oh. Then his lips tugged up in a delectable smile, and his eyes blazed with lust. Oh.
Of course. You can expect me to be totally sane.
Oh, hi. Oh my god, there's a tongue involved! There is a tongue in this CG. That's a little... Oh, good god. Overcome with emotion, I could hardly breathe. I'm not moaning. Something warm sealed my lips. I'm not moaning.
Seriously. I love you to death.
How adorable. I mean... His love came in short, hot whispers between gasps and the entwining of our tongues. I mean, this is pretty intense! He left me no opening to answer. Me too, Yukito. Love you too. Unable to speak, I responded hard and fast through our kiss. Wow. Wet smacks echoed throughout the room as our lips met and pulled away. Love you so much I could die. Drowning in our kisses, I poured all the feelings I could articulate into my lips. And then we know exactly what happened. We didn't end up touching my cooking that night. Oh! Breakfast the next morning was extravagant. I see, that is fully implied, and I'm here for it. We know exactly what went down. Oh! Time passed, and then it was summer. I just figured that would have been a good way to end this, but nope, we're still going. Now that editing had finished, the film was complete. A premiere screening was held for celebrities and crew members. I know we did a lot of rambling, but like this, we would have had like a 3-hour fucking part if we kept this. This is already an hour. I know I did a lot of rambling, but this is already an hour, so like, what the hell? I knew the movie by heart. After all, I'd read the script more times than I cared to count. I'd also been there at the table read with the cast. However, none of that matters unless everything's in place. Not just the actors, but also the music, the set, the costumes, the effects, everything. They all come together to make a movie. My eyes were helplessly glued to Yukito whenever he was on screen. Maybe this is why his route was shorter, because he's got a lot more longer after scene? For just over 2 hours, I was immersed in the world of the film. The applause that came as the credits rolled wasn't out of obligation, but pure adulation. Aww, I love this one. Again, Riku kind of steals it from Yukito, I'm not gonna lie. Like, look at him. Like, I'm sorry, Yukito, but Riku is stealing the scene from you. Afterward, there was a long photo shoot at the meet and greet. The banter between Yukito and a less reserved Nishijima was delicious. I like how we're like, it's delicious. I know you want to be in the middle of that man sandwich, because I do. We smiled and laughed with the guests and crew, and the evening went by in a flash. Then, after all that, Nishijima and then Yukito gave brief speeches to express their gratitude as the lead actors. Yukito seemed a little more serious than usual, but there was a satisfied smile on his face as if he'd overcome an immense challenge.
I don't think I'll ever stop if I start talking about this movie. But if I had to say one thing, I'll never ever forget what it was like to work on it. Thank you so much.
Also, Yukito grinned, unable to contain his happiness.
My second role as an actor has been confirmed. It's going to be in a special film this fall. I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you so much for coming today.
Hey, they haven't officially announced it yet. What if they yell at you later? A bright red flush bloomed on my cheeks as my heart warmed with unrestrained joy because it's my script. Because I won. You can't throw that in and like, if I win, you get to star in it and then I don't win. Like, that had to be, you know what I mean? Like, that's right. The script I'd enter in the contest, Dream to Love, had been selected as the grand prize winner. I really just think it's because frickin' Asagi is on the frickin' judging team, so it's totally nepotism. I don't think it's my talent. But whatever, I'm gonna take it. I had requested Yukito Sena to star in the film, and his casting had been confirmed just the other day. We're just getting started, and we've got a long way to go. I do love that, though, because, like, if they made a fan disc, like, that could absolutely... It could be called, like... I mean, it would just be Love or Pretend 2. Dream to Love. We could make the movie, that would be the whole thing in his, and then we get to meet his parents. So cute. I love it. Yukito had started down the path of an actor. I had finally become a screenwriter. There would surely be many challenges to overcome. But we would stay true, never give up, and take one step at a time. I had faith. Faith that a bright future was in store for us. Okay. But, like, seriously, I mean, I know I rambled a lot, but this definitely was a longer after scenario. I love that they do the happy end and we get the CG with his tongue in my mouth as, like, the background. Jesus. Well, that's a little risque. But, like, alright. I'm actually glad, then, that I stopped and we did this as a separate part, because that would have taken fucking forever. Sorry, okay. Nope, this is not the one we wanted to go back to. There we go. This one. Our first meeting with him, like... Honestly, like, it's adorable, but I like the way he's just, like, kind of looking off into nothing. Oh, now he's winking at us. Sly son of a bitch. Yeah. I mean, I really did enjoy the route, but I gotta be honest, several of the scenes... Yeah, okay. God damn it. Most of them are only 2 until we get to the sexy scene, and those ones... Okay. I'm just licking the whipped cream off his... This is still this is a great CG. And then, like, the fact that then we could go back and see him with his dark hair. But, like, I mean, I'm just saying, okay. He just hits definitely different. And think he looks... I'm just more of a fan of him with this blonde hair, because that's just how we've gotten to know him the whole time. Again, and it's not just like... And it's not because like, oh, change isn't good, because... I do actually really like this CG a lot. Because we saw Makino, he changed, and it was like, that's a change, that's a glow up. That's a change for the better. But like, I don't know, there's something about Yukito that just works with his blonde hair. It just kind of... I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this one didn't have one. Oh, right. When, Hidari was hitting on him. My girlfriend. Aw, that one's cute too. Does this one have one? It did. Aww. I think that one only had two. And falling asleep in the car. It's cute. See, like Kazan, she has giant saucer eyes, but it works with her face. And like this, being shocked that he fell asleep on you. Even though it's slightly like possessed doll, like, hi! It looks really cute until she's in that, like, the scene transition one where you're like, no, now we look like a possessed doll, and it's a little wrong, but... Yeah, like, good God, come on! What the shit? This would change anyone's opinion of him. And then he looks at you, and then he winks. How sexy is that? I mean, technically, this is like, I mean, I'm distracted by your stomach. This technically should be the best CG in the... Honestly, Makino 8, like, glow up is still the best CG in this game, and Yukito's half naked, so I'm just saying, that's... Gotta show you something. This one's good too, though. Like, that's a beautiful photo. I like the cat one, though. It's so cute. I kind of wish we could see these. And I do love the way he looks in that one with the hair all wet. Like, it looks really good. Again, he looks like a whole different person, but it works, so. Aww. I was giving kisses to my bird, not you. But he decided he's awake now. They're kissing on the screen, so I give you kisses. You see sound effects. Bird's like, the fuck are you doing? Aww. Gennady is really fucking cute. Oh, there was only 2 of those. Oops. Aww, and then he's crying. That's so cute. Like, he does look ridiculously good in this, even with the brown hair. I don't know why I'm getting, like, Howl's Moving Castle vibes. It's probably the earring and the brown hair. You know what I'm saying? Like... Then, like, and then the tongue in my mouth. That's a little much, sweet cheeks. What the hell? I honestly, as much as, like, him being, like, all sexy with the top off, I still do like this one, because I think he looks really pretty in this, and, like, actually she looks super cute, so... I mean, the sexy one is sexy, don't get me wrong, but, like... And his impassioned face is really good, too, but... I feel like this gives off a good vibe for him, and I don't know. As a... Well, not a risque one. Oh, hi, look at your... Oh. And even though that one's sexy, I still think his face is prettier in this one. You know? So, anyway, that was Seina's route. We're done now. And I can't believe, like, the after scenes took an hour to do. Like, holy shit, I wasn't expecting that. And, yeah. So, again, I'm really glad we made it into a second part, because otherwise that would have been a 2-hour fucking part. It's like, what the shit? Even an hour and a half long part, you're like, well, I mean, we're at the end, but good thing I didn't have the full time to record. So, anyway, we will be back. Next time we'll do his good ending and all the bad endings and stuff. And now we can skip all those pretend times because we saved before them. So, woohoo! We don't have the problem that we always had. And hopefully I remember when we do Riku's route, because I will be taking a break between Seina's route and Riku's route to start our other game that will be going up in tandem. Probably in tandem that is going up right now with this. But obviously, you know, I was ahead. And like, I like to keep them sort of in an even pace, since one's not like 2 weeks ahead and one's like 2 days ahead. You know what I mean? Not always perfect, but it was just, if I started on our other game, I would have been getting behind with it. I got very behind recording this game with the time I had to take off before I did Makino's route, and then knowing I'm gonna have to take time off for a couple of weeks, it's gonna be really hard. I have to like do things ahead, so I'm like, might as well just do this now instead of like getting really behind. Because when you start a new game, like the common route usually takes a while. It's not like when you're in a route in a game and like this. Okay, I'm 10 to 11 hours, And I mean, now we'll have at least 10 hours because this was a full hour, which I wasn't expecting, but so I just didn't want to like it's just how I operate. Like that's just behind the scenes stuff. Doesn't matter, but yeah, so anyway, we got one more part. We'll do all of his other endings. So that will be next time, and then yeah, that's next time. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.